everybody, welcome back to Habitat Kitchen. I'm Andrew Beauchamp. Today we're making my 3 favorite plant-based milks. We have cashew, oat, and almond. And they are delicious. I like to add this to my baking, just drinking it, putting it in my coffee. And not to mention, when you make it yourself, you don't have to worry about all the excess waste that you get at the grocery store when you buy a store-bought plant-based milk or even just a regular cow's milk. So stay tuned if you want to eliminate some of that waste and make some delicious milk as well. For the first milk, it is cashew milk. All you have to do is get dry roasted cashews, non-salted obviously, because you don't want salty milk. And you're going to soak them, 1 cup of the cashews, in water overnight so they get very kind of bendy and pliable because they've absorbed so much of that water. And then you're just going to throw them into a blender on high speed with about 4 cups of water. And the nice part about this recipe is you don't need a nut milk bag. All you need is a container to put it in afterwards and a blender, which is super convenient, especially if you don't want to make a mess. It's definitely the least picky of the milks. So I just have a glass bottle with a flip lid, and I'm just gonna pour my milk in. And always watch the bottle. Make sure you're not going to overfill this. And then at the end, always remember to label your containers. Time for the next milk. Almond milk. Now, same thing with the cashews. Soak your almonds overnight, and then drain them and make your milk. So whenever they're soaked overnight, the skin should be really soft. Ooh, and they just pop right off actually. You're going to have a middle step of straining the liquid, which I'll show you how to do. But same rules, you're going to want to take your blender, pour the nuts in, then add your water. Same thing, 4 cups. So there's kind of like a little bit of a trend going on of 1 cup of whatever your nuts are and then 4 cups of your water. Just make sure it's cold water, and you're going to blend this for about a minute and a half. If you're going to put any flavorings in it, do it in the blender. For my almond milk, I'm actually going to leave it with no flavorings. I like almond milk just the way it is. But go ahead, you can throw some cinnamon, some maple syrup in there, honey, sugar, and just a little bit of vanilla extract is another good one. Really, the world's your oyster whenever it comes to flavoring these milks. So we're just gonna strain it through. This is a nut milk bag. And all I'm gonna do is hold this over my bowl and pour my liquid through and then close it up at the top and squeeze out all the extra liquid. And pretty much what we're trying to get is any of the pulp out of this. And I'm just gonna pour my milk in. And then at the end, always remember to label your containers. For our next milk, oat milk. Definitely one of our cheapest options, but it's one of the more finicky ones as well. So the one problem with people who make their own oat milk, they might end up with a very slimy liquid, which is disgusting, and you don't want that. So here are 2 tips to help you not get slimy oat milk. First thing you want to do is you're going to want to get cold water. So I just filled up my 4 cups, measuring cup, with water, and I put it in the fridge, or the freezer, for the last half hour to quickly really chill it down. The next little tip is don't overblend the oats and the water in the blender. I'm talking no more than 30 seconds. And even that's pushing it. And it really doesn't need long, the oats. Put the oats in the bottom of the blender, put the water on top, blend it 10-15 seconds, and then you're gonna wanna strain it. Strain it, same thing we did with the almond milk, put it through the nut milk bag, except you're not gonna wanna squish all that liquid out. You're not gonna wanna put a lot of pressure, because with the almond milks, you can put a lot of pressure on the pulp, This, we want the least amount of settlement, the least amount of flour out of the oats. So make sure that you're not putting too much pressure on the oat milk bag and the pulp inside that, because we want all that to stay inside the milk bag and not creep through into the milk. And then at the end, always remember to label your containers. This is very important. You don't want to have milk past the expiry date, especially the nut milks. The nut milks usually stay good for about 3 to 4 days, where the oat milk actually can stay good for up to a week. That's one of the reasons why I really like it. It's because it has a longer shelf life. But don't forget to date it, because if you do accidentally go past that date, you don't want to be drinking a mouthful of really gross milk. So please date your bottles and label them. Milks are all chilled, and I've had a taste of each. Almond is still my favorite. For baking, I always reach for the cashew, and for the most refreshing milk, just to drink out of the glass, oat milk is right up there. So I hope you guys liked these recipes. Don't forget to like and subscribe. Tell me in the comments what your favorite milk is. And follow us on Instagram, Drew's Habitat. I'll see you guys in the next video. Till next time, cheers.
Welcome to Habitat Kitchen.
Hi. Didn't see you there.